Hello, FlossTube. This is Deb, or Deborah, scienceknitster. Welcome to my channel. Excuse me. This is a channel about my craftiness. Mainly cross stitch these days, but I also knit, spin, and weave, and a few other things that quilt. But mostly these days I cross stitch. I will start off today, as I often do, telling you what's in my mugs. This is my favorite Christmas mug since we're getting close to the Christmas season. I know it's the Christmas season as far as shopping is concerned, but the religious Christmas season doesn't start till Christmas Eve. So we're trying to celebrate Advent in our house. It's very difficult. And especially this year, as you will see, I went to stitch all the Christmas, but I don't have time. So I will just stitch what I have time for right now. So welcome back. If you're a returning viewer, if you're a new viewer, I hope you'll come back next time. I hope both returning viewers and new viewers enjoy this video, and please excuse my voice. I may have a little cold, or it may just be allergies. I've been having really bad issues with upper respiratory, like allergy stuff this fall, and it seems to have caught me again, but I didn't want to put this off any longer. So I'm going to jump in with some finishes. So the first is a finish of something I started, I believe, in 2020 or 2021. I could look it up. But this is Michelle Bendy Stitchies. Let me get this up here. Michelle Bendy Stitchies. Oh, shoot. Now I've lost the name. Obviously, it's a turkey. Turkey Trot. I just think the little cook there in the pumpkin wagon is so cute. So I stitched this on 36 count indigo by Luminous Fiber Arts using the called for DMC. And this inspired, finishing this one inspired me so much that I just had to stitch another turkey. So I got out. I've been stitching, although I haven't stitched one since what looks like summer of 2022. Luminous Fiber Arts, Misty Purcell's. She's got a whole series of these pillows that are for different holidays, and I've done Valentine's. And they're all here on the same cloth. Valentine's, Easter, and 4th of July. And I was going to do, she had one that was obviously sort of Halloween-y, October. It was a raven. So I'm assuming it was a takeoff on Quoth the Raven Nevermore, because the name of it is Nevermore. But by the time I got around to starting something new in this series, it was time for turkeys because it was mid-November. So I started this one in mid-November and finished it on November 30th. So I used the called for, I believe, I could look. I think most of the colors are called for. It's a mixture of DMC and over dyes. But this was just so cute that I had to stitch it. So it's called, I think it's called A Turkey's Thanks. I stitched it on 40 count porcelain by Luminous Fiber Arts. And at the Jingle Ball, Misty mentioned that she doesn't have time for dyeing anymore, which I totally understand. I'm surprised she had time to design and dye. fabric, but I am disappointed because I really love her fabrics. But anyway, I have some more of this so I can finish. There's 2 more pillows that I need to do, the Raven one, and then there's also a Christmas cardinal that I will be mentioning in a little bit. Anyway, really love this one. In fact, I'm thinking about next year finding another turkey or 2 to finish. I do have, I think, a Heart and Hand one that has turkey in it. That is an old kit that I still need to stitch up. But I have my eye on the Cottage Garden turkey, and also Lindy Stitches has a really cute turkey. So I will be doing another turkey next year. It's just a matter, or at least starting another turkey next year. It's just a matter of which one. Excuse my slurp. Okay, then my next finish, or my third finish since my last FlossTube, was Darling and Whimsy's Quirky Quaker Gingerbread. And here is mine. I started this a few days ago. I went to Stitch All the Christmas. She actually released this last year, and I saw it on Instagram. I was like, oh, I want that. But I was in the middle of moving, and I guess I forgot all about it. And then I remembered this year because I love gingerbread. So you might be able to tell behind me. There's a gingerbread there, gingerbread there, gingerbread there. Well, I meant to remove my vitamins before I recorded this. They're just there because I need to get them set out for the next week. Anyway, so I stitched this on 36 count vintage country mocha by Zweigart. And I used the called for white, which is 38.65, but I couldn't find the called for overdye, which I believe was Weeks Dye Works Nutmeg. And so I switched it out for Brandied Pear by Classic Colorworks. In fact, the skein that I used is so old, it still says Crescent colors on it. But yeah, actually, let me put something behind this since I don't have any fabric. There we go. So you can kind of see the modeling in the vintage country mocha, as well as the variegation, the subtle variegation in the thread. I also have, so this was a new purchase. I purchased it recently, right before I started it. Actually, I think the day before I started it, maybe. But I also bought her Quirky Quaker Cardinal, which I may also stitch before Christmas. We'll see. I will probably finish this as a circle ornament, is what I'm thinking. I contemplated trying to do it as an octagonal shape, but it would be faster and easier to do it as a circle. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so on to, let's see, what shall I do next? I think I'm going to go ahead and do whips, and then I'll do I have one more new start, I believe, just one more. No, actually, I have 3 more new starts, but 2 of them are related to the Jingle Ball, and so I'm going to save all the Jingle Ball stuff to the end. Did you go to the Jingle Ball? Speaking of the Jingle Ball, I really enjoyed it. I got a chance to participate much more this year, and I'll save to talk about it till then, but it was great to meet people from all over the place. Okay, so what have I been working on since we last saw each other? Not a whole lot, except for the other things that I just showed. I've been stitching a little bit more the last, off and on. November, end of November, beginning of December got pretty busy because it's the end of our semester. And I was also really tired. So there were some days I just didn't stitch. And then I got into first stitching the turkeys, and then Really wasn't that thinking I was gonna stitch all Christmas stuff in December, because there's some samplers I want to get back to. But my goodness, Jingle Ball apparently turned on my I want to stitch all the Christmas. So okay, so I did put in a few more stitches. Let's see, let me show the picture first. And I just realized I forgot to bring one of my other whips over here. I may have to get up and get it. Or no, I don't need to, because I can show it another time. I'll mention that at the end. So I had started, excuse me, around November 1st, Autumn Owl by Pigeon Coop Designs. And I did get a little more done. I had thought I would finish this in November, but turkeys, what can I say about the turkeys? So I'm stitching this one. I got the kit on this one, so I'm stitching it on oatmeal. Whoops, 14 count Ada oatmeal, and you know, it was a nice little, nicely packaged kit. I mentioned this in my last video. And these are the colors. Okay. So back. Actually, I don't think I want to put that stuff there, because it's on top of things I need to show. Okay, next. So in November, I also worked on the Black November. And my Black November piece, I don't think it matters which one of those I pull out. You might recall is La Calvera Katrina by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I am stitching this one. Ooh, I don't remember. It's a picture of this plus, and I don't remember which one it is. I don't think it's Legacy, but it could be. Because one of my Legacies was very brown, that I bought a few years ago. And I think this is some of that. And I don't remember if it's 36 or 40 count. Actually, let me look it up in my Xstitch app. Okay. La Calvera Katrina. It is picture this plus. Yeah, it was from that brown dye lot. I was right. And it's 36 count. So I'm stitching this one over two on 36 count. Picture this plus Legacy linen. And I chose for my thread Onyx by Weeks Dye Works, because it was one of the black threads, overdyed threads I had that I had more than a little bit of. I have multiple skeins somehow. So I chose the three that looked the most similar. Hopefully that should be enough. So I've mainly just been working on this like around the Day of the Dead and into November. But I didn't work on it a ton this year because I started stitching turkeys. Okay, what else? Okay, famous last words. This might be a very short video because I haven't stitched that many things, but I always think it's going to be short and then it ends up being long. So we'll see. Okay, so last time I showed this is Uber Tree by Bent Creek. Uber Tree by Bent Creek. And I have not actually stitched on this, but what I needed to do was you might recall, if you're a returning viewer, you can kind of see where I removed, there was a snowman here that needs to be over here. And there was just no way to fudge it, so I had to take it out. So, so I was able to do that, and now I'm ready to work on this some. I haven't decided if I really get going on this, I could finish it this year, but you never know. I might start some more things. I am using, so this is, I believe, an 18 count linen. It's just a natural, like a raw natural. It might be natural light. I can't remember. No, I think this is raw natural. And I'm using most of the called for. It's a mixture of overdyes and DMC, but I'm using pearl cotton, and some of the colors don't actually, like the Gentle Art doesn't have a pearl cotton. So I'm substituting, for Dried Time, I'm substituting Classic Colorworks Weeping Willow, and for Gentle Art Slate, I am using Weeks Dye Works Art Icicle, because both those dyers do have pearl cotton. Everything else, yes, I'm using where it calls for an overdye. I'm using an overdye, except there's a Classic Colorworks. Of course, this chart is old enough, they call it Crescent Colors. They're called Country Lane, and I'm using the DMC, but otherwise I'm using the called for. So that's ready for me to get back to work on. And my threads are a mess, so I'm not going to show you the threads. Actually, they're not that much of a mess. Well, there's a few of them that have escaped, but they're all, I put my pearl cottons in floss away bags. Okay, put that there. I'm just gonna leave that there. Okay, so what other whip have I worked on? Well, I had another new start. So I'm doing, I decided, who was it? Darling and Whimsy on Instagram had posted her start of this. Merry and Bright by Misty Purcell, Luminous Fiber Arts. This was, I think this is out. Yes, this is actually, she released this now, and I believe you can get a copy from her website, either as a PDF download or order a hard copy. But it was also in the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher Christmas/winter issue from last year, so 2022, and that's where my copy is from. So it might look different from your copy if you have it straight from Misty. Anyway, I've been wanting to do this for a while because I had, if you're a regular viewer, you might recall that I stitched the one from the 2021 Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, which is also available in Misty's shop over the summer as part of Colorado Cross Stitchers summer stitch camp. So I wanted to do the companion to this, right? And yes, I know my tufted titmouse has a black crest, but that's what they look like here in Texas. Some people think it's a separate species. It's called the, I think it's black cap titmouse, or something like that. I'm not convinced. For those that don't know, I'm a biologist. My training's actually in what's called population genetics. I want to see the data before I would call that a separate species, because it could be just due to a single gene. Anyway, but instead we have the chickadee, Merry and Bright. And so I saw Darlene Whimsy start, and I was like, well, I had already kitted it up and been thinking about starting it. And so I went ahead and started it the weekend of the Jingle Ball. And we decided that we would call it the Christmas Birds Sal. Birds with a Z. So if you'd like to join us, you can stitch Merry and Bright or anything else you want to stitch. So I have a couple others of Misty's that I really want to stitch that I will show in a little bit. So let me show you my progress. So I'd have to look and see exactly. I think I started this the weekend of the Jingle Ball, or soon thereafter. Actually, well, I have it in my X-Stitch app, but I'm not going to waste your time looking it up. Okay, so I had started working on the border over here, but I wanted to get the some of the letters in to help gauge that everything is going properly. I've already made a mistake over here that I haven't decided if I'm going to tear it out or not. It depends on how badly it bothers me once it's done. I put an extra stitch here, and so or maybe it was I left an extra space. I can't remember, but excuse me, this one is a little too close. Got buried, excuse me. Water. This is what happens when you have cough asthma. I'm really sorry. Oh, okay. That's better. So I just this evening started putting in the letters. So I'm probably going to stitch all of Merry and Bright before I finish bringing down this border and then start going back across the bottom. But that's what I've got done so far. This is not at all what I plan to be working on. Okay. So, as I said, Darling and Whimsy agreed to stitch along, although she made no commitment to finish it this year. And I said, that's fine with me because I don't like something else might catch my eye. Yeah, never know. But anyway, I thought I'd take an opportunity to show a few of the other charts of Misty's birds because they're really cute that I would really love to do. So this came out a few years ago, 2020, Christmas bird trio. So these are all Christmas birds. So we've got a house wren, another chickadee, a blue jay. When I hadn't stitched these yet or hadn't started any of them because I was hoping to get some of this fabric, which was a fabric that Misty dyed that I didn't buy at the time. And I think, I can't remember if the count I wanted wasn't available or what the issue was, or I had already spent enough money on cross-stitch stuff. So I waited. I'm just going to pull these down because that is bothering me. Okay. So I hadn't started any of them because I wanted some of this fabric, but I was able to get a close facsimile that I will show you in a little bit during the Jingle Ball. So sometime I am planning to stitch these. Probably next year will be the earliest I get to them. But they're kind of in my Christmas birds little project bag, which is where Marion Bright is too. And then the other one is one I already mentioned. It goes along with the with the other ones that I already showed, the Turkey's Thanks and so forth. So this is A Cardinal's Carol. And I actually had started kitting this one up not long after I bought it. I was thinking it would probably be the first one that I did, but it wasn't. And ended up, I didn't get to it. So I put everything back in my stash and kitted up Be Mine, or which I forget what that one's actually called. And so this might get started this year, but probably not. Yeah, I never know though. I do have some more porcelain, 40 count porcelain in my stash for finishing the other pillows. So the only other thing that I've worked on, the sampler that I've been working on is Blackbird Designs Feliz Navidad. I posted some pictures on Instagram. I did work on it a little bit today. I've mainly been working on it like on the weekends, usually on Sunday. Not every Sunday, but often I try to work on a sampler, and I would really like to finish that one this year. But I forgot to bring it over here. And but I'm thinking about sometime in the next week. Last year, around this time, or maybe earlier in December, and you can go back and look, it's my FlossTube number 35. I checked before I got on. I did, I showed all my cross stitch ornaments from my little tree, which is actually right behind us, where I am now. But I was thinking this year, since I've already done that, and in the past I've also shown some of my seasonal stitching. So in December I would have shown and I didn't go back and look and see when that would probably been my very first year of FlossTube. My seasonal stitching, so the December one would have shown, or sometime in the winter, I would have shown my Christmas and winter stitchery. I'm thinking I'll do a special FlossTube of my Christmas whips, like all the things that, and I have quite a few, that I have Christmas that are in the works. And then depending on how many of those there are, I may also include all the Christmas stuff I had kitted up, because I was looking at some, and I actually have things from, more than 10 years old that I have at least partially kitted up. Like I might have some of the floss. In some cases I have fabric with it. So a lot of it is like 32 count. And I think in a few cases even 28 count, because I usually would either use what was called for, or if 28 count was called for, I might sub a 32 count, because that was my preference. That's basically 32 count was the highest you could get when I was really into cross stitch about 20 years ago. So that's what I'm thinking I might do. I'll have some time next week after the college closed down to do that before Christmas, sort of like a special Christmas FlossTube. Anyway, Jingle Ball. So a lot of people have put out stuff about the Jingle Ball already. I'm late to the party as usual. But as I was saying earlier, I had a wonderful time. I enjoyed the entertainment. I really enjoyed going to the, what they call it? The designers, I can't remember if they called it the designer spotlight. They had originally planned to have stitching tables with most of the designers, but I don't know if like the internet got broken or what. I never heard what exactly happened. but then they all got canceled, but then some got rescheduled for Sunday. So I actually was able to go to Kathy from Hands On Design. She had one, and I'm not sure who else, but I was able to get to some of the designer spotlights. Some of the ones I wanted to go to were actually during one of the 2 classes that I took. So if you saw my last FlossTube, you know that I was in the Blue Flowers class, and because I was stitching turkeys, I did not actually get the Biscornu done before class, but I did. I was actually stitching on the Biscornu while during class, but it seemed pretty straightforward, and my plan is to finish a Biscornu, one of the ones. So I bought the kit, and it came with enough supplies to do both of these. So I've started this one, and I think this next week I'll work on this one so that next weekend I can rewatch the video and do the finishing, because it came with all the supplies that you need to do the finishing. So as I mentioned, I did get started on this. So this is on a, is this a 32 count? I forget. Yes, 32 count sparkle gray with silver from Zweigart. And no, I did not zigzag or otherwise hem stitch my ends. But this is what I got done in like a day and a half, or not even a whole day. So I think this week I can finish that, finish the top, and then the bottom is pretty plain. It just, let me see, I don't remember exactly. It just has some little things in the corners, so to speak. But I'm thinking about charting my initials and the year for the middle of that, and try to avoid the very center, because you'll be pulling a button through it, but for the bottom. But I think I can get that done this week if I work on it, if I have this be my focus piece this week. So basically I worked on this during the class and a little bit outside the class, and then I decided, I think in my last video I said I was thinking about taking another class, and I did end up signing up for, where did it go? Oh, here we go. Hands On Designs class. So I did the PDF version, obviously, because it was the main reason I hadn't. So it's Jingle Around the Block. So I wanted to learn how to do this kind of finishing, and her video and her written instructions, she gave written instructions, are fantabulous. So Kathy said, you know, we didn't have to finish or even start the stitching before class. So I gathered my supplies. So I just decided to go with the supply list. I wasn't sure if it was important to use the same size linen and everything. Because I didn't know how the finishing was going to work. Turned out it would have been fine if I'd substituted a different size. But so this is 28 count, is it antique white? It's not white, but it's Zweigart. I ended up buying this from Lindy Stitches because I didn't have any in my stash. And it's all DMC. Here's the colors. I didn't show the floss from the other one. Do I actually? I could have. Let me do that. Bad me. So here's the flosses from Janine's. Again, all DMC for the version that I'm doing. Okay, so I'm obviously I'm working on the sides right now. So when she sent us the info and the PDF, Kathy mentioned that she was going to have some supply packs with wool, actually 3 options for the wool, and the pins from Just Another Button Company. Now, Just Another Button Company also had the pins, but they were only going to have Jingle Bell, with the Jingle Bell and Bell spelled out. Kathy had both an A and an E, so you could have the pin spell Jingle Ball or Jingle Bell, whichever one you wanted. And that she was going to have them go on sale as soon as the shop opened at what was it? I think it was 6 p.m. Eastern. So I'm telling my husband, we either have to eat early, or like everything's got to be like I can't be in the kitchen at 5 o'clock Eastern. I need to be, or maybe it was, I can't remember, whatever time the store opened. I can't remember. I'm on Central Time, so I'm not sure if it was 6 o'clock my time or 6 o'clock Eastern Time. I need to be on there so I can buy this thing. And so they actually opened the stitching rooms early. So I was like, well, I gotta go. So I actually got on just to make sure everything worked. And then I went back to cook some more dinner and got dinner ready, together so that I didn't have to watch it for a few minutes. And I was able to get the supplies that I wanted. I haven't decided which of these wools. So she gives you the option of a green, sort of an aqua-y blue, and red. Now she did hers with the aqua blue. But all of them coordinate with colors. I may go with that. I really do like that color. But we'll see. We'll see how I feel when I get there. Now, I will watch the video again, the class video again, but I don't think that I will even attempt to finish this before the class video is no longer available, because her written instructions are so extensive and there's pictures and everything. So my plan is to watch the video one more time with the written instructions in front of me, and if I think it's warranted, I'll write some notes. That's my plan. So I'll be able to do that over the holidays, at least I'll do it before Christmas, because I'm actually going to fly out Boxing Day to visit my family. Unfortunately, my spouse can't come with me because he has his own business, and this is a hard time of year for him to be away. Plus, he does a lot of Christmas bird counts, so there you have it. He will be busy with Christmas bird counts, which I will talk about at the end today as part of the Science Corner. Okay. Haul. Let me actually show my Jingle Ball haul first, because I had meant to do all the Jingle Ball stuff at the end. Okay, so actually this did come with that. No, it didn't. It came separate. Okay, so one of the things I decided, and this reminds me, now that I'm showing this, I need to get, I think I have some baker's twine somewhere. I'm sure I do. So one of the things you could get was this special wooden ornament This is the Jingle Ball 2023. So these were done by Beth Twist's husband. I think his business is called The Boardroom or something like that. Anyway, I need to put this on my tree right over there with my stitched ornaments. So I've got some baker's twine. I have it over in my stitching area. Excuse me. You know, I just realized I don't think I actually said what was in my favorite Christmas cup. I'm drinking herbal tea. Normally I do this at the beginning. I'm a little discombobulated. I normally do my recordings, or I used to, like in the morning or early afternoon. And then for a while I did them in the evening. I should probably stick till morning. But I'm sipping Christmas Eve by Stash. I like a lot of theirs. So this is going to go on my tree. I'm going to leave this out so I remember to put it on my tree. So what else did I get at the Jingle Ball? Well, from Misty Purcell. Oops, there's a spider in that bag. Wonder how it got in there. Just crawled right in there. So I had bought the PDF for a set of ornaments. They were circle ornaments that she talked about the finishing for her class. Okay, now why did you do that? I had you all ready to go. Okay, here we go. So I bought the PDF. She had the PDF and paper patterns available in her shop in the Jingle Ball. Luminous Fiber Arts, where did you go? There you go. Okay, so wintergreen Christmas pattern. Okay, so you can see it's a lot of glare. Let me try my phone. It might be less glary. That's my Kindle. I thought it would be a larger picture. It would be nicer. All right, well, I think my phone will be less glary. Guess that's another reason not to do this at night. Okay, let's see. Yes, much better. Okay, Kindle, go over that. Okay, so this is called Wintergreen Christmas. And so I went ahead and got these, but her class was on this. And since I already know how to do a circle finish, I decided not to take Misty's class. I don't do it exactly the same way she does it, but it's easy to do it the way I like to do it. But these are kind of a companion to the birds that I showed you earlier. And I'm hoping, so I bought the kit hoping that I would get some of Misty's fabric, but she had said that Fabrics by Stephanie had a very similar fabric, and it does look very similar. So this is Vintage Tiffany. What size is this? It's a fat 8. But I'm definitely going to do the birds on this one because I'll stitch those before I stitch these. And then if I need to, I'll buy more from Stephanie. And then since I was buying the kit so I could get the fabric, I ended up getting the, oh, let me take that out. I forgot to take that out of there. Sorry for the tinkling. I was going to say, I think there's something in there that I don't remember ordering. Okay, so this is the cutest little needle minder. So I have a needle minder with the other thing that I'm stitching of Misty's right now, but maybe I should switch this out. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave this out and we'll use that, and then I can move that one to a different Christmas piece. But, so here's the thread pack for these guys. But, I may end up getting these for other things too. Okay. Yeah, this was actually part of the kit, because you can see it looks like the Santa. Really cute. Misty has a lot of cute stuff. And then, oh, I forgot. There's another one from Misty that I bought. Santa stack. So I bought the kit for that too, because I wanted the fabric. The fabric is from Forbidden Fiber Company, I believe. Okay, where does it say? Sometimes Dropbox doesn't want to cooperate. Honey Blush by Forbidden, yes. Honey Blush by Forbidden Fiber Company. Let me go ahead and take that out. So it's got a little variegation to it. Oh, so that I didn't realize, or at least I didn't read carefully enough. The kit comes with a card, one of Misty's cards of the Santa stack. Cute. Should really read the fine print, Deb. So here's the over dies for that one. Thought it'd be nice to try this fabric, so I decided to go ahead and buy the kit. Okay. Because I don't remember. Yeah, I did not buy that card. It came as part of the kit. Cool. Okay, let me just put these back. I still have to put these in my X-Stitch app. Okay, so that's what I bought from Misty. And then I got a list here because I was afraid I would forget. I tried to restrain myself. And of course I bought the what they call the Jingle Ball Baubles book. So that was in, so I'll just show you the cover. I bought the, I often stitch from my phone or my iPad. So here's the cover, and that's by Hands On Design. And then, so each designer put one in here. And they're exclusive for right now. I believe they can, I know some of the ones from last year's book are now released. So I believe they can release them like in a year or sometime late next year. But I think I want to, last year I stitched Janine. So this is Janine's The Blue Flowers, that's hers. She had a giraffe with a sweater on. And so this is a badger with a peppermint stick. So I think I'm going to do that one. That may be my next start. If I don't start, there's a couple other things. When I was going back to look at, what Christmas stuff did I already have kitted up, I found a few things that I was like, why haven't I started this yet? Let's see, did I get anything else from, let's see, what do I have here? Do I have anything on here? I had just purchased some stuff from Lindy Stitches a few weeks ago, some of which I'll show you. a minute, so I didn't buy anything more from her during the Jingle Ball because I believe I had already purchased. But now I'm not seeing them. Okay. The blue flower. I bought something what actually wasn't a Christmas ornament. But I really like her her bees. So I wanted to get another one of her bees. A lot of the designers had freebies also. Okay, let's do it this way. So I'm less likely to show part of the pattern. Okay, so that's the sleeping bee. So I'm already stitching Tudor bee. There's a couple other ones I want to get. Let's see what's next on the list. Heartstring. Actually, let me do hands-on design first because it's on the way. So isn't that cute? I was really tempted to buy the fabric from Fabrics by Stephanie, but I resisted because I have something in my stash that's similar enough, I think. So I'm actually contemplating starting this week, but I'm afraid if I do that, I won't finish my Biscornu. So we shall see. I think that's all I got. No, I got a couple other things from Kathy. Where did it go? Be minty. Oh, sorry, that's not Kathy. Okay, so I already showed you Jingle Around the Block because I bought that for the class. Okay, so let me go to Heartstring. So my favorite thing that I got from Heartstring is this one. Go Tell It on the Mountain. That's one of my favorite hymns. So that's another one I'm really tempted to start. And then I also got from Heartstring Be Minty, which is really cute. I think it actually goes nicely with Janine's Biscornu. So nice ornament with lots of candy canes. I also like candy canes. Not quite as much as gingerbread, but I also like candy canes. And then, oh, these are funny, or fun. Funny. Science fiction Christmas ornaments. Believe, seek, renew, and answer. And I can't remember what's, I know that's obviously Star Trek. I think believe is, what's the one that David Duchovny was in? I didn't watch it except on occasionally, but my brother and one of my sisters watched it religiously when it was, anyway, and then I forget what the other two are, but they're all from sci-fi shows. So, okay. And then, oh, I forgot a couple from Misty. So I showed you the wintergreen and the wintergreen Christmas and Santa stack. And then I also got this one. I love her animals. The Perfect Christmas. We've never had a gray cat. I might need to adjust the coloring on that so it matches our cat. Our current cat is a tortoise shell. But that's too cute. That was it for Misty. And then there was some from Jeanette Douglas. Just a couple that I got. A merry little tree. It's like a poinsettia tree. And budding bouquet. Both of those are really pretty. I love the colors. Okay, I think those were all my Jingle Ball purchases. And then, see, we're gonna end up being an hour again. And I thought I barely have enough for half an hour. Just a few more purchases. So this is Polar Plunge Fabrics by Stephanie. This is for the Polar Plunge series by Hands On Design. And I was going to use something else for my stash, like a 40 count for my stash, but I decided since Steph of Lindy Stitches had this in her shop, and I bought this, the antique white, the 28 count antique white that I needed for the Jingle Round the Block. I decided to get some of this too. Okay. So that was before the class. And then, is there any way I can show this? So this came as a kit for, this is not anything you can get. So pardon me if you're not in the Tudor Rose Sampler Guild. This was an ornament that the Needlework Press designed. So it's basically both the one on the bottom and the one above it. So we were able to order kits. I do not know if either of these will ever be released, but they were designed for I'm not sure if they were designed specifically for the Tudor Rose, but they were the Tudor Rose Guild ornament for this year, Christmas ornament for this year. Okay, got another in the Boardwalk series. This one is Saltwater Taffy Shop. And then I purchased a couple of, actually I should show that. So it's available now for sale, but here we go. Sylvia, Running with Needles, had released this beautiful sampler, Sarah Rickwood, as a freebie on her birthday, and now for sale. But if you caught her social media posts on her you were able to download it from her site for free. And she had Vicki Clayton do the threads. And so I decided to order them because there weren't that many. Okay, here they are. These were in a bag, but let's just say the post office, one escaped. I'll grab it later. The post office totally mangled my package. Oh, that's a pretty variegation. There we go. Anyway, so beautiful silk threads by Vicki Clayton. And since, so you can kind of see how mangled, can you see that? Like they really, you should see the package. I was worried stuff was missing from the package. It was so mangled. Fortunately, I double checked. Fortunately, nothing was. But it looked like, it looks like they put it through the wringer. I don't know if you can see that, but like it's all, and I've gotten stuff from Vicki before and it was, very nicely packed and all organized, but this time the post office almost like tore apart my package. Anyway, so I decided to also get the ones for the my sister's samplers, Ann Richardson, age 9 years. I bought the pattern not long after it came out. And I really want to stitch it soon. So I bought the silk pattern for that. So hopefully I will be stitching one or both of these in the near future. Yeah, see, look, like, paper's ripped. What can you say? It's the post office. Let's see, what else? That's all the stitching stuff, and then I had to, I'm in the Designer Mystery Club for the Fat Quarter Shop for quilting. So, for this year, it's all using fabrics from Joanna Figueroa Fig Trees Dwell. Really pretty blues and pinks. And anyway, I liked the color, so I decided to get it this last year. There's a few more. Let's see. Then I had just a couple more purchases. So I already showed you the gingerbread from Darling and Whimsy, and I mentioned I also purchased her. Where did she go? There she is. Quirky Quaker Cardinal, which I may stitch up before Christmas. We shall see. That other one, it's stitched up really quickly. I think I could easily do one in a day if I had, I didn't have to work, which I'll have time off, so I could easily get another one done. And then the Pigeon Coop came out with some beautiful Christmas patterns. And I was, he started a series of the 12 Days of Christmas that I was really tempted, but I knew I probably wouldn't get to stitching them for a little while. So, but I'm really tempted to stitch this one. This is his Jolly Squirrel that he released for Christmas this year. That would be a nice companion to the Cardinal that I did this summer. I just bought the PDF for this one rather than the kit because I wanted to have it before Christmas. And I missed his Black Friday sale because he doesn't take PayPal. And I remembered, like, at 1:45 or whatever time it was going to end, I'm in bed trying to order from his website. And then I realized he doesn't take PayPal, which means I need a credit card and I'm not getting out of bed. So I think that's it. So we're just over an hour. I did want to say a little science corner. I wanted to talk just for a short bit about Christmas bird counts. So the Audubon Society has sponsored Christmas bird counts. Oh, I'm not sure for how long now. Probably over 100 years. And my spouse has participated in several different locations, different places we've lived. And he's been doing quite a few counts in this area since we moved here in 2005. And this year I decided, as part of my community service for my college, we have to do community service, that I would help him on one of the bird counts. And there's one where our neighborhood is part of the area that he has to cover. And it was a beautiful day, although it was a bit nippy this morning. So I helped him out with that. But basically each year in many places all over the country, just average birders, people who are interested in helping out, get assigned an area by whoever's in charge locally. And it's not every community has one, but in a lot of communities you'll find one, or find one close by. You can go online if you're interested and just want to find out, is there one in my area? You can just go online and Google Audubon Christmas bird count, and it should lead you to your area. In fact, you might just put like your state. You should be able to find a listing of the Christmas bird counts at least in your state, and then see if there are any that are close by. If it's something that you or a family member might be interested in. So the data is collected and compiled by local birders, and then it goes to like a state compiler. I can't remember if they have like regional compilers. I used to know more about it, but it all gets compiled electronically now, and can be available for people who want to do research or just who are interested to see what's happening with birds. It's through these kinds of what's called citizen science, just average citizens. You don't have to be a scientist. You're just interested and you know a little bit about birds. Or even if you don't know that much about birds, but you're interested in birds and you want to learn more, you can end up, going out with a more experienced birder, and, learn so that in future years, you might even be assigned your own area if that's something that you would want to do. And, but it's through these kinds of data, that we're able to document things like the fact that there are some birds that spend winters farther north now, and that there are some birds that are found farther south. That just for instance, today we had noticed that there are these kind of parakeets called monk parakeets. They're from Mexico. They've been down in the Rio Grande Valley for quite a while. In fact, when we first moved here, we went down to the McAllen area where there was a colony of them to see them, because that was basically where you had to go to see them in the United States. But they're here in Corpus Christi now, and my spouse, he said he needed to double check. He didn't think, although he'd been seeing them in recent years here, he didn't think he had gotten them on the Christmas bird count yet. But we had 4 of them in our backyard, because our backyard is part of his territory, for the Christmas bird count. So we had 4 of them in a tree in our backyard this afternoon, when we were checking out the birds there. But yeah, it's something you might want to look into if you're at all interested in birding, or if you have a family member, maybe a child, a little bit older child who's interested in birding, teenager, niece or nephew, grandchild. If it's something they might be interested in learning more about, you can look and see if there is a bird count in your area, and also see if there's a local Audubon Society chapter. And you might also check out the American Birding Association, because they have programs for young birders. So if you have, like I said, like a child or a grandchild or niece or nephew who's interested in, nobody else in the family knows much about birds, those are different places that you could look and see that where they might be able to get some help, or you might be able to get some help if it's something that you are interested in. So I think that's it. I have done a little knitting, but I forgot to bring it over here, so I won't show it this time. But look out for another video from me. I would say like in the next week before Christmas, of my Christmas whips, and perhaps also things I have kitted up, or mostly kitted up. Thank you for spending time with me, and I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, hit the like button. Feel free to leave a comment. Would you like to hear more about birding or any other sciencey subject, or was there a particular thing that I showed that caught your eye and you want to learn more about it? Just write a comment. Well, I guess I will end here with my usual, please take time to be kind to yourself and always be kind to your neighbor. Bye-bye.